Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. I got a message today, like some of the other messages I get. Basically, they say, hey, my car's leaking oil. I don't know if my engine's bad, blah, blah, blah. My first question is, how much oil is it leaking? They have no idea. The answer I got today was, I had the oil changed 2,000 miles ago, and I checked the oil, and there was nothing on the stick. How low is it? I don't know. Can I drive the car? Well, unfortunately, you've driven it to where it is now. I don't see why firing it up and driving a mile or two to get you a few quarts of oil will matter. Fire it up, go get some oil. Should I take it to a shop or get it towed? Man, I don't know. It's your ride. Do what you want to do. But, you know, the bottom line is, if you check your oil level and you discover that it's low, the best thing to do is top it up to the full mark. Record your mileage. Drive it around, checking it every couple of days or once a week, and figure out how many miles it takes to become to the minimum mark. That way, you know how much oil it's using or how long it takes to use a quart of oil. Whether it's 200 miles, 500 miles, 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles, you need to know the rate of your oil consumption or your oil leakage. If you contact me about your oil consumption or leakage rate, I assume you want my opinion. Here's my opinion. As long as you can add oil faster than it leaks or it burns out of the car, you're fine. Just don't run your engine out of oil or run it too low. If you are losing or leaking fluid, whatever kind of fluid it is, out of your vehicle quicker than you can add it back, you got a problem. If you could look under your car when it's running or sitting static and you can see fluid dripping from under the car, you got a problem. You need to fix it immediately or have it towed to somebody that can fix it. Other than that, stay on top of the fluid level. I've had vehicles that leaking transmission fluid, using oil, leaking power steering fluid. Here's the deal. As long as those parts have fluid in them, or those systems have fluid in them, you can likely keep rolling. Panther has had a power steering leak since I purchased the car. It actually leaks about 8 ounces every 1,000 miles. So I keep transmission fluid with me in the vehicle. The power steering system in my car is lubricated by transmission fluid. So I keep transmission fluid with me. When it gets low, or I hear it whine, when it starts getting low on the pump, I check the level. If it's low, I top it off. No problem. I've been doing that almost 4 years now. No big deal. I might be hurting the environment a little bit by dripping transmission fluid everywhere I go, but I hadn't heard of any major issues on the news yet about something drastically happening because somebody found a couple of drops of transmission fluid somewhere. So if you're leaking oil, transmission fluid, power steering fluid, and stay ahead of those things. Now, transmission fluid leaking on hot parts can be dangerous. Transmission fluid is almost as flammable as fuel. Fuel leaks, you don't want to play with. Coolant leaks, you really don't want to play with coolant roulette. Normally, if something is leaking in your coolant system, it can blow at any time and cause you to overheat your engine. I call that coolant roulette. Main problem with it is your coolant system is pressurized in most vehicles. So you get a little leak, you add that driving pressure, bam, you can have an instantaneous explosion, leak all those fluids out, and if you don't get your car pulled over within 30 seconds of losing all the coolant, it's probably going to overheat the engine and damage it, cause a breach in your head gasket. Or if you keep driving, you can destroy your engine, your turbo, your exhaust, basically trashing the car. Again, do what is necessary to figure out the rate of fluid loss, and then govern yourself by that. If you got an engine that's going through more than a quart of oil every 500 miles, I think you need to do something about that. If you got a transmission that's going through the fluid so fast that you have it slipping once a week, you need to do something about that. If your power steering runs dry every 2 days, you need to do something about that. But if you can drive 1,000 miles without adding any fluid to the system, don't worry about it. It's an old car. Another thing I often get about leaks is, Robert, what can I use to plug it? Sad to say, I don't believe in putting anything in your engine oil system or your coolant system to try to remedy a leak. Again, the coolant system's pressurized, and if you put something in there that'll plug a leak, to me, there's a chance that it'll plug something else. Some of these engines have very small ports and passages. I hate to think of that stuff getting plugged, or if it's blowing coolant into some other part of the engine, now that stuff is mixing somewhere else. I just don't believe in doing it. In your engine oil system, engine oil is highly refined specification fluid. Changing its viscosity or altering the chemicals in there, I'm just not a fan of it. If you got a engine oil leak, it's likely leaking through some seal, or the engine's wore out. Just replace the seal. I don't have any recommendations on any pour-in fixes. Now, your power steering system is separate from the engine, and your transmission is separate from your engine. They do have good products to try to cure those leaks. Normally, they're unsuccessful. I haven't had one fixing in my leaks yet, but go ahead and try those. It's a lot cheaper than getting those things fixed sometimes. But unfortunately, some of us really can't afford to drive, so we try to find quick fixes that seldom work. In summary, if you have some kind of engine oil leak or transmission fluid leak, try to find the rate of the leak. Stay ahead of the leak. Again, if it's leaking excessively, engine oil more than a quart in 500 miles, transmission fluid more than a quart in 1,000 miles, power steering more than a few ounces every few days, you need to get that fixed. Coolant leaks, I don't flirt with at all. Coolant leaks need to be repaired immediately, because they will destroy the engine if it loses all the coolant and it overheats the engine. Fuel leaks, of course, is extremely dangerous and can cause a fire, as well as transmission fluid leaks. If the transmission fluid leaks can get on some extremely hot part like an exhaust, it can cause a fire. I've seen cars burn to the ground because of transmission fluid leaks. So that's my take. I hope it helps. Have a good day. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.